Big things are happening for the High Fives Foundation, and to tell us all about it, we have Roy Tuscany and Lawrence Green here with us. So thank you so much for stopping by. I love that the email I got saying, hey, can we come on our show and talk about what we're doing was literally 2025 biggest impact and stuff, because you guys have really truly been doing some incredible things. So I'd love to start there with who you guys are and what has made this year so special.
You know, we're a 501c3 nonprofit based in Truckee, California that has services all across North America. The organization is built on the idea of helping individuals with life-changing injuries get through the recovery process, but then also regain identity again and get connected to community. 2025 has been incredible for us. We've expanded our team, we expanded our office space, we expanded our physical therapy program and personal trainers. We've introduced equine therapy through Reno Rescue. We did, what did we do? We did 108 athletes out on the boat this year. Wow. So on 40 different sessions. You know, we have bike programming. We're starting to transition into snow programming. Mm-hmm. We've got a great surf program. We're headed down to Waco Surf this weekend. I mean, I could keep going on and on, but yeah, I mean, we've had an incredible year. And we've been giving out more money than we've ever given in our grant program as well. So things are going really well for us.
Which is incredible. And last year was a big year because Lawrence came onto the team kind of full time. I know you and Roy go way back, but I'd love to know kind of a little bit about your story, your injury, and how kind of through these adaptive sports you've really been able to kind of discover a new version of yourself.
Yeah, so my injury was in 2015. Motorcycle accident, was in a medically induced coma for a month.
Wow.
After battling infection and everything else, 3% chance of survival. Ended up making a full recovery and finding HighFivesFoundation and getting involved into adaptive sports is, you know, just made me realize that there's nothing that I can't do now that I could do before.
Wow. And you were telling me too that you found adaptive sports within like 3 months of, you know, kind of your recovery out of the hospital. I mean, that's really fast, especially when you think of like the mental toll that you had to go through, really kind of, I guess, you know, accepting the fact that you do have this life-altering injury. How did the adaptive sports help you in that kind of mental recovery?
You know, so I think there's a lot of mental aspect that goes along with the physical aspect. You know, whenever your body feels great and you can do things, it just kind of helps out mentally as well. It's like, you know, there's nothing that I can't overcome and can't accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that you're a part of the High Fives team full time, you were saying that it's not even getting out there and doing the sport yourself that you love, it's seeing all the other people discover the same thing that you discovered a few years ago, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's no better feeling than sharing all these experiences with other adaptive athletes and getting to see the smile on their face whenever they're succeeding. You know, even whenever with our wake surf program, whenever, you know, it's a low impact sport, so whenever they do, you know, fall off the wave, there's still smiling.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I mean, wake surfing's it's a hard sport in and of itself, in the sense, you know, if you've got 2 legs, you know, but to see these athletes come out there and who have most of the time never even thought they could do it, let alone wanted to. Now they're like, okay, I'm going to try it, you know, and like you said, they fall off like we all do the first couple of times. But then you just see the resilience and, like, you know, that ability to kind of inspire them to be like, okay, anything's possible and everything. And so I think that just having you guys here sharing all of the impact that you guys have had is a big deal, and I know you want to make the impact even bigger, and that really just comes by spreading the word about who you guys are and who you want to help.
Yeah, you know, we look to serve individuals that have had life-changing injuries, spinal cord injuries, amputation, traumatic brain, mobility limiting, and we really have found that sports are an incredible vertical to help create community amongst those that might feel like they've lost their identity. And, you know, like Lauren said, when a person gets up and gets to do something again for the first time thinking they couldn't do it, it's like you get to fall back in love with something that you never thought you'd get to love again. And I mean, how many of us would love the chance to fall back in love with something? And I think that's a big takeaway of the impact that we have. And with surfing, you know, we have all these different, you know, prototype boards that allow people, regardless of disability, to have that experience. If it's laying down, or otherwise known as prone, or if it's sitting, or if it's kneeling, or like Lawrence literally sits on the board. And then some individuals are able to stand up. But we have all the equipment from our great sponsors. We have great opportunity from Mastercraft and Cal Custom that give us this opportunity of a new boat every year. And then we have the most beautiful backdrop in the world. I mean, Lake Tahoe. I mean, where else can you get a more pristine location to go surfing
Well,
at?
that's just it. Lawrence was telling me that he's also a Northern Nevada transplant like myself, and I was like, it's not a hard sell, right, to fall in love with this area.
Yeah, it's just like Texas, right?
so much like Texas. But anyways, as you can see there, I mean, what you guys are doing is just absolutely incredible. And you mentioned that Mastercraft, you've got this like fancy new boat and stuff out there too. So like, you're like, we're not like babying these athletes at all. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are going fast out there, just like the rest of those athletes and everything like that, and really just getting all of the speed. It definitely looks like a lot of fun. And again, you can't put a price tag on the mental and emotional and spiritual, impact that this is having on everyone who's a part of it. So if you want more information about the High Fives Foundation, I of course put all of my interviews on our website, Kolo8tv.com, after the show, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. And of course, they are a nonprofit, so if you have any resources available monetarily, or even if you want to volunteer, I'm sure there are ways to get involved. So I will again make sure that that's on our website. So Roy and Lawrence, thank you so much for being here, sharing your story, and again, just making a difference in our community.
Thanks for having us.